Good morning, folks. Today's shave is going to be with Yulay Live and Let Shave. Just finished my 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 video, and this one here was the one I used as an example. One of my favorite soaps, name brand as it goes for Monica's Yulay. Anyway, this is what it looks like here on the inside, if you can see that. Using a little bit different setup. I'm seeing how this works. I know a number of people use their cell phone for videos, and giving it a try, see how it works. Not too sure how this is going to work out for me. Anyway, also here's the matching aftershave. Now, Monica's aftershaves are not alcohol based, and do contain witch hazel, and it is the kind of aftershave that you will have to give a good shake before you use. And her aftershaves are very reasonably priced, in that these run about $10 for a bottle, and I think this one is 3.4 ounces. No, this one here actually I think is a little bit more. Anyway, good stuff here. I'll put a link down below as well as scent description and whatnot. Alum block I'm going to be using today is the one with rubber band. This one here from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements, the Crown King line, and there's the rubber band. I've had this one for a while, so his alum blocks will have a different sticker, but that's the one I'll be using now that I finally got around to using it. Here's my witch hazel. This is Humphrey witch hazel. It didn't have a scent to it, but it does now. I've added a little bit of menthol, but even more peppermint. Nice cooling effect after the shave. And let's see here, the brush I've got today is this one here. Get a little bit of water out of it. I normally have already worked up the lather, working a little bit out of sorts here. But anyhow, I've got the horsehair brush, the Vie Long, and working in the Yulay bowl here. Got some soap already put in there. Yulay soap, in my opinion, will take quite a bit of water, a bit more than what some others will. And so I usually don't squeeze a whole lot out of the brush. And some of my bowls that I have, I wish I needed more numbers than 5. I really like my shaving bowls, and I like them for various different reasons. This one here from Yulay holds the soap down in there for quite a while. In other words, to get the soap all rinsed out and whatnot, you'd have to work at it. But that's not the reason why I like the bowl. It's because I do like how it does hold the soap in there. You can rinse out, your loose lather that you got whipped up, but it will hold some soap still down in there. Now, per my nose, which is going to be a lot different than most, it doesn't, the old soap, I guess you might say, or the previous soap that was in there, as it goes for affecting the scent of the soap that I just put in there. I don't pick up the previous soap scent at all, but I do pick up the new that's in there. That's just my nose. Yours might be different. This honeycomb style base, you might say, is a little bit different than most. And one of the concerns I remember reading about was that they were concerned, some folks were concerned about how the we need to add some more water here, about is it rough on the bristles. I haven't had any issues with it, but this is probably more to do with how I whip up my lather. My lather is on the wet side. I don't press down into the bowl. It's more of this circular motion that works more on the side and somewhat on the very edge of the bottom there. But I don't press down most of the time. I don't press down on my brushes. I just use a lot of circular motion. I don't have any issues with my my bristles even getting tangled up with the horsehair. I don't have that sort of issue with mine, and it may have a lot to do with the fact that I don't press down into the bowl. I think I'm going to go ahead and go with this. It's very much on the wet side this morning, so it's going to work. I think this is going to work out pretty good, because this particular shaver is a bit different. I have installed the blade already, and you might be able to see if it gives it a chance to focus. This one here is the RazoRock SLOC version 2. And the cap and base plate is made out of aluminum. The blade inside is a Personna X series. And the handle is a polished, I guess you might say machine polished, stainless steel handle. And the handle's got quite a bit of weight behind it, but the base plate and the cap is very light and kind of gives it a nice feel to it, in my opinion, in that the weight is very good in the hands. You might see that this might be considered a little bit different shape handle than what you might see with some of the other shavers. It fits right here perfect in my hand the way I like to use it. Already put a hot towel to the face this morning, put some coconut oil. And speaking of coconut oil, conversation between Tim and Johan over there at Shave and Butcher. Using coconut oil, I find the post-shave feels pretty good. I enjoy that portion, that part of the using coconut oil. And it does well with the DE or single edge, like an injector. It does well with the those kind of shaves, but I have noticed, at least I felt like, in my opinion, that when it comes to a shavette, it causes the blade or the shaver to drag just a bit. It's not quite as, it affects the slickness, in other words. There we go. So boy, this smells great. Like I said, I'll have all that information down below. Something to think about when you're going through your shaves and deciding if you want to use a pre-shave or not. I ordered some more from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements, the pre-shave, and especially the ice that's methylated. Because it's been a while since I used it, and since I've been using coconut oil for a while, I'm going to see how that works for me. And it might be a good experience in between using it, Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements pre-shave soap, with a shavette, and then now I'll use it with the with a single edge or something of the sort, and see if I can notice that much of a difference. But I know using the coconut oil, definitely a difference in the post-shave. My face feels very much moisturized no matter what soap or cream I use. Feels pretty good. Reason I mention that is because of this time of the year, winter is usually when my face kind of gets dried out just a bit. Sometimes depends on the temperature outside. I know that may seem kind of odd for some folks, but the way my skin is, yeah, temperature outside makes a big difference. The colder it gets, the drier my face gets. We'll say that the feedback with that aluminum head is a bit different than what I was expecting. In other words, I can hear it. That aluminum does a good job of transmitting that feedback. I enjoyed doing the video this morning with the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It was quite a challenge trying to figure out how I was going to work it. I am more of a hardware guy than I am software. If you couldn't tell. I enjoy the scents of the soaps and the aftershaves and so on, but to me, one of the key things is you got to have good blades, good shaver. You got to have that. Otherwise, to me, your shaves are already going to be terrible, regardless of what kind of software you have. This open comb design, I don't know that it leaves quite as much soap behind. I guess you might say some of its predecessors. But it might be more slickness as opposed to soap. In other words, such a thin layer, you don't really see it. Love that feedback though. That's pretty nice. I like that. It's not always common in a DE shaver, especially one that's got a little bit heavier cap and head. This one here, I can hear it. And I don't necessarily feel it. In other words, it's not a vibration per se. At least I don't notice it. Second pass. This one here, a bit more efficient than some others, but this one on the third pass would be, you could probably get by with 2 passes and then your third pass being a pickup, depending on which way your shave routine is. Some of these shavers I feel like they're built in such a way, especially for those that are trying to get their shave on, and you're in a hurry, woke up late, whatever the case might be, and you can get 2 passes and a pickup pretty easy. And they're smooth enough that you could, once you get accustomed to the shaver, you can pick up your speed in your shave routine. You don't quite feel the need to go back over the same area over and over. My Gangsta Green pass, I guess you might say, is the pass. If you're looking for something that's smooth, comfortable, very close, that's the pass for me that gets it. I like the wetness of my shave cream. I don't particularly want it real thick. If anything, it might be closer to, at times, a thick cream. No, I have noticed that this shaver rinses out pretty easy. Past week, I've also been thinking just a tad bit about the facial hair, changing the shape of it, leaving the mustache in place, I guess you might say, but leaving this portion right here. Haven't quite decided just yet. It's been so long since my chin, this area, it's been over 20 years since I've seen a blade. You might look at it another way. It's also been about that long since I've seen daylight. But anyway, been thinking about changing it up a little bit, make this more straight across right here, and then just leave this kind of like an oval. Thought it might, the shape of my face and whatnot, it might look pretty good. Haven't quite decided just yet. Go ahead and get this alum block here, figure out what side of the spectrum I put this on. This rubber band makes a world of difference when the block gets smaller. Your hands are wet. At least it does for me. When I first started out with my alum block, that's one of the first things I noticed, is that with my hands wet and the alum block, yeah, I know I'm going to drop it one day if I'm not careful. Do enjoy my witch hazel, but it is getting down towards the bottom. There's not much left. Well, this container here is 16 ounces, by the way. A lot of them I see Humphreys are usually right around the 8-ounce mark, if I remember right. In other words, much smaller. And I got this container practically for the same, I think it's for the same price. $6.99, $1 more than what I normally find it at. I had noticed that Walmart had been carrying Humphreys, and I The only thing is that at Walmart, they're wanting like $9.99 for their Humphreys. A little bit steep compared to what I'm normally getting at. Which this one here I found at TJ Maxx. Marshall's another place where I've been able to find Humphrey's witch hazel at a much lower price. Much lower than $10, that's for sure. Go ahead and get this shook up here. Like I said, this is not alcohol based. It's got witch hazel in it, along with some other stuff for your skin. And let me see here, witch hazel. I know some of the aftershaves have alum in it. This print's kind of tiny. I don't see it listed here, but it does have liquid silk. That's what the restrictor looks like. I don't know how this camera's working for you, but that's what the restrictor looks like, if you're kind of wondering. It's not real big, but it's not super tiny either. Great scent for the Monday morning. Well, this wraps up my shave today, second video of the day, so I don't know, I'm expecting this might not get uploaded till later on today. Hope everybody's doing well, stay safe, and smooth shaves to you.